Hello, this is Arcurus, and welcome to Arcurus Plays Arma 3. Now, amongst my friends, it is no lie that I love Arma, as I have roped many of them into playing Arma 2 and 3. I have played all the way from when it was called Operation Flashpoint, Cold War Crisis. I've basically played every single Arma game except for Arma, Armed Assault, which was the first game in the Arma series after Bohemia Interactive split off from their publisher, and their publisher got the rights to Operation Flashpoint. However, I am not just a big fan of the multiplayer component and the sandbox nature of the game, I am a huge proponent of the single-player campaigns. So, I'm going to be playing through these single-player campaigns for Arma 3, eventually going through all the DLC, because I think some of the DLC stuff is some of the best stuff they've ever done. Now, I'm going to be playing on a custom difficulty once we get into the campaign proper, because I do find the base game to be a little bit over-tuned, especially for how deadly Arma can be. So, we are going to start in the prologue. I've already played through a little bit of it today to make sure the game would run well. So we're just gonna go ahead and revert to the beginning. Reality check. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my head tracking. I do have track IR. I am going to use it whenever we're in vehicles and for certain other applications, but I definitely don't want it on all the time.
Now, let's give you something to shoot at. Bang, bang. They're all yours, Sergeant. Great. Targeting and ballistics look normal. Let's get you oriented. Bring up your compass.
As you can see, there's a bunch of hints up in the upper right hand. It's telling me how to bring up my compass right now. This is a very condensed tutorial. Arma is a very mechanics heavy game.
Next one's just east of you. Okay, let's try bearings. Next one's at 220.
So basically they're teaching you how to read a compass, this is how you really do read a compass. So, there's 220.
Alright, not bad. Moving along, here we go. Sergeant, if you'd be so kind.
Anyways, for compass reading, compass is in degrees from basically 0 to 359, because there are 360 degrees. 0 is direct north, and then 90 is east, 180 is south, 270 is west. And there are tick marks on the inside of the compass that when you start aligning it, the inner compass there is in degrees, the outer compass is mils. Mils are really only used for like artillery. So when you get like a compass bearing like 300, this is 300 here, you can see the red line down there on the compass is lined up. The wire up top where my crosshair is, that's for what we call shooting azimuth. If you want to know, like, let's say, what degree is that box there, you aim that line across the box, and then you kind of read the compass. So, this basic compass reading, that is applicable to reading real compasses in real life. However, there is a technique to holding them, that sort of thing.
So, Looks like it wants you to run from marker to marker as fast as you can.
Oh, that's what it wants, huh? Great.
Yeah, it says here that it'll spawn targets at each marker. You'll need to drop them before you can proceed. Well, whenever you're ready.
So this mission here is basically just
Say again.
giving us a little bit of
Negative.
a tutorial.
Yes, this is Staff Sergeant Adams. Send it. These people. Hold on. You know what? Go bother someone else. Ow! Hey, morons.
You having fun up there?
You know it.
Jesus Christ, deafen me, why don't you?
Sorry about that. Well, I think it's safe to say it's working as advertised.
Got any more tanks lying around?
Maybe next time. All right, let's shut it down. Thanks, are gonna get here soon.
So, what'd you think? Not bad at all.
Right. Here comes the cavalry. Shit, looks like I missed one. Tell you what, you go get it working. I'll get things set up here.
Copy.
Alright, so this is basically showing where where your waypoints are. You're not always going to have specific waypoints and tasks, but oftentimes you will. And as per graphics, because I have a GTX 3080, I am playing the game at full settings.
I'm sorry, I thought I told you to go bother someone else. You know, I don't get annoyed easily.
Yeah, right.
But this guy's a special kind of fuckwit.
So I'm playing at full settings. I have a view distance of 5 kilometers set, as well as I believe it's a 2.5 kilometer object detail and 2.5 kilometer for picture-in-picture and 500 meters for shadows. I'm also running 200% sampling. I'm basically going to try to get this game to run as badly as people say it does.
All right, everyone, gather around. See some targets? Really? Sorry, they're all we've got on hand.
I'll go into like CSAT and what's going on and that sort of thing probably next episode, because I'm going to try to do mission by mission, so video length is going to vary.
All right, first things first. I'm Staff Sergeant Adams. This is Sergeant Conway. We'll be your cabin crew for today. Cabin crew? Since I'm fairly confident we all know why we're here, I'll skip the usual brief. So, over to you, Sergeant. When you're ready, put some rounds downrange. As you can see, while the sergeant remains standing upright, he has to work harder to compensate for the recoil. Were he to take a knee, the effort he'd have to put in compensating for the recoil would be reduced. So, whenever possible, try to crouch down before firing. Going prone offers the best stationary shooting posture with the least recoil and smallest profile. However, be careful
so this is a little bit of a short tutorial on how to like change equipment out on your rifle. So I'm going to go ahead and take this collimator optic off, and I will put the RCO on. Before I exit out of here, I am going to say something a little bit about performance. As I said, a lot of people say this game runs very poorly. In fact, like, it runs rather well for the most part. Has been my experience. People in my group are playing it on GPUs as old as GTS 660s. I started playing it at least 30 FPS with a GTX 460, I believe. And that ran it just fine for a long time. It's only when people start piling on mods and playing user-made missions that are, let's say, like, have a lot more objects in them, not very good cleanup, that sort of thing. So all that stuff really affects performance.
From now on, I'll be giving directions to the sergeant exclusively in compass bearings, so please pay attention. I'll call out specific targets for the sergeant to engage. It's up to him to pick them out and score a hit. Are you ready, Sergeant?
As I'll ever be.
All right, first target.
Helicopter. Well, speaking of CSAT,
Pay attention, children. 100 meters, bearing 290. 300 meters, bearing 330. Remember, control your breathing. Aim for clean, focused shots. 400 meters, bearing 307.
It's far right there. Alright, and to talk about the way this site works, you have your central lit up crosshair there. That dot is for 300 meters. And you can see the dash for the 4 and the dashes underneath it.
100 meters, bearing 307.
Shut up, Adams. I'm explaining things. And so that 4 is if you're 0 to 300 meters, that 4 is where a 400 meter shot should hit. Just like that. That 6 is a 600 meter shot, the 8's an 800, so on and so forth.
While we're on the subject, you're going to find it much harder to control your breathing on the battlefield. Sergeant,
Don't even say it.
your adoring public awaits. God damn it.
What is the sergeant doing, I hear you ask? Well, in all honesty, I have no idea. Although I think we can all agree it's quite a sight to behold.
Fuck you, Staff Sergeant.
However, his completely spontaneous and totally unplanned marathon conveniently brings us to our next lesson, fatigue. It can and it will be your worst nightmare in the field, should you fail to regulate it effectively. Push yourself too hard and you'll find yourself unable to hit shit, even when the situation requires otherwise. And hell, if that's not enough for you, you'll just grow to hate the sound of your own wheezing.
I kind
Floor is all yours, Sergeant.
of love how self-aware this is,
Sergeant has to battle himself as he
because in older games now we have a stamina meter up in the upper right
don't, you'll have a
underneath our
anything at all.
weapon information, and it used to be that the only way you could
That'll do.
tell where your stamina was by your character's
American,
breathing.
please, I need to speak with you. There has been an incident. Over.
What do you mean, incident? Send us your grid. Over.
We cannot do that.
Say again. Why not? Over.
We do not have a map.
GPS.
Negative.
Copy. Wait one.
It's always something with these people. All right, change of plans. Everyone, gather around the sergeant. Come on, don't be shy now. We're gonna learn something useful. Bring up your map, Conway. Okay, here's the deal. Since your people are completely incapable of intelligent thought, it has fallen upon us to rescue them from certain doom. Before we begin, Sergeant, if you'd be so kind, stick a marker on our location 066159. For those just tuning in, six-figure grids are a crucial navigational tool. Coordinates are read from the bottom first, followed by the ones that run up the side.
Alright, so he's basically explaining Sublime Nav. So, in most land nav, I have taught...
066159.
Adams, shut up. I'm giving you your lesson, but in more detail. I have taught, actually, many land nav courses while I was actually in the U.S. military. I mean, it's been 10 years, but yeah, it's basically right. When you're giving grid coordinates, you'll start in the center of the grid, you'll go out, however many.
For God's sake.
Shut up, Adams, I know what's going on.
We're going to attempt to triangulate their position. However, before we get onto that,
You guys still there?
Yes.
We need some landmarks to go off here. Do you have anything we could use? Did you spot anything recognizable en route to your location? Over?
Well, we know that we are west of Sirta. We drove through it.
Okay, that's one. Hold on.
all right, Sergeant, stick a marker on Sirta. It should be about 3 clicks to the northeast. 3 kilometers, in other words. Now, let's draw a line going west from Sirta.
Can you guys give us any other landmarks?
There is a hill nearby. It has a small chapel on top of it. It is at bearing 130 from our position. Over.
Copy. Wait one.
That's probably somewhere southwest of Sirta itself. Think you can locate it, Sergeant?
Yeah, that's right here. I already know that because this marks a church, that's what he said. And if you toggle map textures, you can see the contour lines. So like these will either mean a hill or a hole, so this must be a hill.
All right, the bearing they gave us was 130. However, that's from them to the chapel. We want to work out the bearing from the chapel to their position. So let's do a 180. That makes it 310 from the chapel itself. You'll notice the lines intersect. That, in a nutshell, is all we're looking for. It tells us that if the information they provided is accurate, they must be somewhere near there. However, the intersect won't always be exact. Use common sense to enhance your accuracy, or try to obtain further information. Over to you, Sergeant. Stick a marker on their position.
To kind of go on by what he's saying, this is how you would locate yourself if you had a compass, a map, and were lost but could see landmarks. Now, the only thing they really did wrong here is they didn't have this unit run also a compass bearing to Sirta. So, honestly, they could be anywhere along this line, because this is still technically west of Sirta. But, this is about where they're at.
Yep, that looks about right.
American, what is your status?
We've got your grid 075183. We're on our way. Stay put. Out.
Okay, we're gonna go find your friends. Keep yourselves busy while we're gone. The rest of you, load up. Conway, you're driving.
Alright. So now I'll be able to turn my my track IR on here.
Take the left up ahead.
There's the picture-in-picture mirrors there that are completely functional. I do actually really like to use track IR while driving or operating vehicles in Arma, simply because it just makes being able to see where you're going and what you're doing that
Take
much
the left,
easier.
Conway, around the town.
It really does increase your situational awareness. But you do have to keep your eyes on the road, just like you really do.
Okay.
Slight tremor there.
For the record, I'm blaming CSAT.
Keep driving. I'll check with McKinnon.
Broadway, Alpha 1-1, actual. Was that what I think it was? Over.
Confirmed, 1-1. Just a small tremor. No cause for concern. Over.
Copy, Broadway.
Phalanx to all units. We just experienced a light earthquake. Do not be alarmed. Return to your posts and resume your duties. Out.
What he said, 1-1.
Yeah, we got it, Colonel. 1-1 out.
Guess some greenbacks must have shit themselves.
But
Take the next left.
that land nav lesson we kind of got there, that is a lot of that is actionable to IRL. Need a little bit more detail in the training for it, but you know, the basic idea is there. That if somebody knows how to read a contour map and do some of that type of triangulation via, you know, just playing Arma, there's a
Keep
pretty
an eye on
good
the GPS,
chance.
Sergeant.
Yep. Oh, wrong button. There's a pretty good chance that you probably wouldn't get lost in the woods, and with a little bit of training, you'd be pretty good at it. The Arma series did come out of a engine meant to be used to actually be used as a simulator for the real military. I know once or twice I had the opportunity to train with it.
Take the right, coming up.
I do prefer real land nav, real convoy ops, you know, where you actually get in the vehicles and go out there and drive around and stop and investigate stuff. You know, a training environment. That's way more valuable training than any, you know, video game or simulator will ever be. And when we have more quiet time or a mission briefing that we have quiet time in, I'll talk about more of the setting, because this is taking place in
This must be the place.
2035, I believe. And a lot of things do seem very... How would I put it?
Everyone out.
A lot of things in this do seem very... Ow. Like, very near or futuristic. But many of the vehicles and stuff in this game are actually current as of 2022.
What the hell happened here?
We were on patrol. We were attacked.
Patrol, huh?
Yes,
And these people, they attacked you?
yes. Was I unclear? You ever heard of excessive force?
Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant, they're just civilians.
Did you sweep the buildings? And what's the deal with that man over there?
Yes, we did. They are clean.
You searched all of them, including the ones down there?
No, only these ones.
And that man, do you have medical support inbound?
No.
Are you kidding me? Sergeant, search those buildings down there. The rest of you, set up a perimeter. And you, call for a goddamn medevac. Now!
So yeah, a lot of this stuff seems like future tech, when in reality, that vehicle right there is very heavily based on the current U.S. military. I believe it's the Joint Light Mobile Tactical Vehicle or something like that, the JMTV or the JLTV. I didn't use it, never saw them while I was in via circa 2010. Alright. let's take a look around here.
The shed's empty.
But this game takes place on a couple of small islands near Greece, actually. The Greenbacks are a member of the Altis armed forces, which apparently Altis and Stratis like broke away from Greece or something like that. It's not wholly clear.
Adams, I've got a weapon stash here. Small arms and explosives. Definitely guerrilla. Over.
You see? They were a threat.
Yeah, and I'm sure they just attacked you for no reason.
Copy, Sergeant. Form on me.
But in general, I think it's more that they, like the Altis armed forces and stuff, that it's basically made up as an Op 4 that won't really get the developer of this game in any more trouble with, say, the Greek government that they already were, because because the two islands in this are based on two real islands, they actually were like touring around taking photos. They were arrested for spying by the Greek government for taking photos of military installations as for concepts for this game. They have since been released.
All right, everyone, mount up. We're out of here.
There's a little bit of the game being a little weird. Anyways, this is a good place to stop this episode. We will be back with the next set of missions. This is Sarkuris, signing off.